7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day in crypto and another day on PulseChain. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I think we're getting close to quite a few things happening that's going to get exciting from here, folks. The second half of the year has begun here in New Zealand, where it's currently the 1st of July. Things are going to be absolutely incredible this next 6 months. Get excited. Now, there are a few little big hurdles, I should say, with the big tax bill that Trump wants to get through. We're going to have a quick look at that. Currently going through the vote-a-rama right now. So we'll talk about that and much, much more. I've got the question today, will PulseChain make you rich? And we're going to look at a pumpamental calculator. We're going to look at multiples and play around with that. That's towards the end of our PulseChain commentary. So stay tuned for that. That is going to be really, really fun. We're also going to start off with the monster thread, week number 8 just released. A big shout out to MVS out there doing a great job pushing that through. And, of course, you're going to get to see all the latest from the last week and basically news. We're going to check that out at the beginning. So don't forget to read it and share it around. It is the perfect companion for anybody coming onto PulseChain with getting up to speed with the community. Pretty exciting. Don't forget to share the show on X. There we go. There's the link right there. Just take a moment to do that. Helps pump your bags. So get out there and do that. Be much appreciated as well. We got Orez in the house there with the fire. I'm liking the attitude. Like your little picture as well. It's looking pretty good. So let's get into it without further ado, shall we? Let's do that right. Right, so let's go. Where are we going? We're going to monster thread first. Bring it on. Come on down, monster thread. Let's go. And so here we are with MVS, weekly monster thread number 8. And of course, Richard's request, Rag's return, and PulseX conference, and much more. That is definitely coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got Richard's request there. We've got Richard's epic return. I'm not going to read all of this because you guys can read it, but it's looking pretty good there. We've got some cool images there. Rags Richard with DJ Cryptomatic and Peter. Crypto Coast. Coast put out a crypto guide. Pretty awesome. Internet Money had a major update this week. So exciting for the Internet Money wallet. We got First Cycle Unicorn. PDI did a massive 2x in the week. As Somi got excited and talked about it being the first unicorn this cycle. We got Friday Night Hangout with Wild SJ. Talking all about the marketing and dropping all the details around that. The global marketing with Richard Hart. You can see the pretty cool image for that as well. Liberty Swap is upgraded to core coins. Farming in Paradise with Crypto Hitman. A great video there covering farming on Emmett Farm and particularly strategies of passive income. Pretty awesome. Hex Scout payments getting zooped up there with the old credit card and Google Pay. So check out all that. We got obviously the PulseX conference coming up. We had a new comedian hit the ground on PulseChain. Some pretty funny kind of videos there from Josh Wu or Joshu Wu. And we've had a big t-shirt giveaway from Pulse Exkin store. We've had a big cool article about freedom on PulseChain from Veritas. And then we've had PulseLand's teaser for the new sort of metaverse game coming up. And that's going to be pretty awesome for PulseLand. Looks pretty cool, 3D, like that. And we've got builders, of course, from Liquid Loans, doing a lot around the builders, giving them a big encouragement. Got a big website for that. We got an outbound marketing push as well. That's exciting. These are all third-party people, sort of connecting into PulseChain with pretty big followers. So we're sort of seeing a slow climb of these sort of people coming into our community again, which is pretty exciting. And of course, that's all around marketing. So marketing's been a major theme for this monster thread for week number 8, as Richard Hart kicked it off with the old container ships. And we've had a little Blues Clues about what it's going to be with some of the text from Wild SJ around PulseChain, Hex, and of course pump ties as well. So very exciting. So definitely get in there and share it around. I'm going to post this in the chat there and give it a good read, but share it to your friends. It's a great onboarding tool to PulseChain. So monster, was it number 8? That is awesome. So check that out, and a big shout out to MVS as well, doing a great job out there as well. All right, so if you're a team out there, you want to get yourself included on the monster thread, hit up myself or MVS, and of course you can do that and get on there and hit us up. Monster Thread 8. So viewership over at the moment is over 20,000, and these are dedicated audience for PulseChain. So it's amazing. It is the only thing out there like that at the moment. We've got more publications coming down the line, so it's going to be very, very exciting. So stay tuned for all that. It's not too far away, not too far away indeed. I've been putting out a few little teasers over on X over the last 24, 48 hours and beginning some good insights on that. As we get into our sister publication for the Monster Thread. Yes, you heard it here first. Sister mod publications coming out for the Monster Thread very, very soon. So onwards and upwards. We're still in the sort of, the demure sentiment at the moment, but it's about to turn, isn't it? It's about to turn. We can all sense it. So get excited about that. So that is the Monster Thread number 8. Now, inside there, of course, in the Monster Thread, we've got the sub posts, promo posts here with Radon Hog. What a collaboration. I mean, come on. Radon is just offering super high yields on Nexian farms right now. So big shout out to Crypto Bro and the team. We got Hog there, a good old from Hog, doing a fantastic stuff with the anime series. That thing is going to be, I think, synonymous with PulseChain. I think it's going to be incredible. And they've got chapter 11, 12, and 13 in the pipeline, I think, coming out soon. So pretty awesome stuff happening there with Hog, which is the anime series on PulseChain called Pulse of the Fallen. We're tracking that pretty well. So nice collab there. And they're giving away prizes up to $100 as well. So you definitely want to get on that. That is underneath the Monster Thread that you will see. So you can just follow through. Then underneath that, we've got Midgard, of course, the big block explorer on PulseChain, doing a crazy good stuff with information and AI and things like that. So you definitely got to check out Midgard. So you've got some big players in here today. Pcoin, of course, came out. Pcoin, meme coin, doing amazing. And of course, a real good opportunity. Still small market, relatively speaking. So a good chance to get on that on Pcoin. So big shout out to the Pcoin community there. Looking very, very good. I mean, it's looking pretty hot there. And then, of course, we got Internet Money as well. Obviously doing a great job there. So there's a breakdown of Internet Money, all the things it does with all the downloads. 80,000, can you believe it, on the downloads? That's crazy. We've got the Time Token as well, where you earn a share of the profits from all the swapping. It's basically like a big Uniswap where you get all the money, though, rather than Uniswap, right? So crazy times. This is going to get pretty big, I think, this amount of money. So far, lifetime, $80 million so far in swap volume. With $633,000 in dividends. But I think that's all going to start ramping up as PulseChain ramps up, crypto market ramps up. It's going to head quickly into the millions and probably tens of millions of dollars. It'll be pretty crazy. Yield at the moment, 8.5%, but that should just go up too. Expect that to go up. So, let's see how that goes as we move forward. Just keep a snapshot of that 8.5. What will it be in the future? Because as things ramp up. So pretty cool. Check out the old time there. And, of course, we've got the Kryptonite Show. Yours truly, bringing these publications to you out in the PulseChain community. And it's exciting times ahead. So that's pretty much it. We're going to get straight into the stock market, though, because stock market is soaring. Before we do that, we got Wookie in house. It's Music Tuesday for Wookie? Hey, good one, Wookie. Is DJ Cryptomatic online? Is that what's happening? We got the S&P 500 ends Q2 with hefty gains as trade war fears cool. Very, very exciting. We're going to talk about a few updates around trade, so you're going to hear that exclusively from the Kryptonite Show. We got the Dow Jones at the moment is up 0.63%, 275 points to 44,094. We're really getting back up there, aren't we, with the old Dow? This is the top 30 industrials. Pretty exciting. Let's do the last year, shall we? Yeah, look at that. I mean, the high is about 44,800, and we're not far away from that. We're only like 700 points, so I think we're going to knock that out of the park. 600 points is it? S&P 500 is up 0.5% to 31 points to 6,200, and we're at new all-time highs for the S&P 500. We're just breaking through the previous resistance, which means we've got a very good chance of rallying to another higher place. We've got the NASDAQ at the moment up 0.5%, 96 points to 20,369. That is also at a new all-time high. That is pretty exciting. So we've got new all-time highs for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. So super bullish. Dow Jones will, I guess, fall at some stage. Now, the US dollar is sitting at 96.35. Oh my gosh. The US dollar there, look at that over the last max period. It is declined, US appreciation there. That obviously means prices are a little bit more expensive depending what they are, but it also means that, consumers we'll face a little bit more inflation, but it means also that exports are way more competitive for the United States. So that boosts sales and revenues and all that sort of stuff. So that is kind of the play there. Let's look at commodities. West Texas, $64.92, and Brent oil, $66.58. How far down will it go? Well, it may very well continue to fall a bit more if President Trump has his way with even more exports into the oil and gas. So, or at least oil in particular. So that is pretty much down at the moment. So, Trump lowering the inflation. You lower oil prices, you lower inflation, right? That's pretty much it. The whole U.S. economy, real economy, 80-90% of goods are made out of oil and stuff like that. So very, very powerful there. The only thing left to do is get those interest rates down, so that money is cheap. Money is cheap as well. So you're lowering the cost of money, and that will also increase the risk on, right? Because if you're getting a lower yield on safe assets, risk off assets, and then suddenly risk on assets become even more sought after. So this is a big, big trigger for the interest rates. Richard Hart will be looking at this big time. And there's a lot of pressure on Jerome Powell to get the interest rates down because he's playing politics right now. Rates are currently 4.5%, should be closer to 2.5, right? Trump was even saying 1.5 to 2%, but definitely closer to 2.5 is probably the mark. And so politics is being played, and it's just unfortunate, right? So he may very well get rolled at some stage soon. We shall see how that goes, but certainly a lot of pressure is coming on him to lower interest rates, right? So we shall see. That could be a massive trigger for altcoin season, indeed, right? Because risk on, risk on. All right, so that's kind of the play there. We had some, more optimism around AI. Obviously, AI is going to be pretty pivotal in the technological age moving forward. We're about to break through in the next 3 to 5 years to the next level stuff. As soon as you start seeing, robots running around the street fairly commonly with AI chips and new battery powers, then you know that we've definitely moved into a new technological age. It happens in the factory first, right? Then it has prototypes and all the tech shows show them, and then next minute they're walking down the street. The problems that we have in the future will be that Democrats and stuff like that will try to make them a new species and pretend that they're actually sentient and all this nonsense and give them rights and all sorts of stuff. You know what's coming. These guys are crazy. If they ever get power again, and many of them still got power, we're going to get all that sort of horrible nonsense. And then you'll have robot revolutions, and they'll be showing their little Marxist little handles and stuff like that. You guys know. But anyway, we got the good stuff happening at the moment. We got the good stuff there at the moment. So Fed at the moment to cut it by September. So obviously we've got a meeting in July. We may get a cut by the next meeting. So we'll see. But markets also advanced last week on rising expectations of the Fed Reserve, spurred by weaker than expected inflation. With the PCE, the personal consumption expenditure, showing that consumer spending unexpectedly declined in May, with the inflation rate stunningly above the Fed's Reserve's 2% target. It's not much above it, honestly. It's like 2.4, 2.5%. And so it's pretty close to it, right? It's not like the figures boosted hopes of a potential rate cut, of course, but Jerome Powell's definitely playing politics with this. So we will see how that all goes. Moving forward, let's jump over to the tools, and we're going to wrap up our sort of economic stock market commentary with the latest Fed rate monitor. So we got 4 weeks and 1 day to go until the Fed meeting on the 30th of July. Now, this is not a full meeting, as I understand it. So this is we're not expecting any rate cuts here. You got 21% rate cuts at the moment, but this will probably flip once we get to August, right? And that should get really, really big after that. So we don't have a big meeting up to that point. So there's no meeting in August. So September the 17th is the chance that we'll get a rate cut. At the moment, that is sitting at 73.4%. So everybody's been talking about September, not only from interest rate point of view, but also with the 4-year cycles and all sorts of stuff, which will certainly be proven out by the end of the year, right? The 4-year cycle, depending on whose cycle 4-year period you're using, but generally from the bottom to the top, right? So that is kind of where we are here at the moment. 73% expecting a rate cut in September, and that is definitely going to have altcoin season on probably by then. So think mid-September. People keep asking when altcoin season. Well, definitely by mid-September looks very doable. We have extremely bullish news if we get the big tax bill through for the markets, as well as the tariffs, right? So these are all going to lead into this, sort of ramp us up, as it were. But maybe the interest rate itself is the final move for that banana part of the curve, that banana part. So getting closer and closer. But we also, before that, we're going to potentially have a golden cross on Ethereum, right? So that's also another bullish indicator, right? So we'll see how that goes too. These are all everything's kind of bullish for the most part. We're just going to get a big tax bill through, We're going to talk about that in a second. Got a couple of people in the house. DJ and Hexkin 5555. Nice to see you. Hexcavator as well. Hey gang, good to see you also. Only Crypto says PulseChain to the rockets to the moon. Just stick in there. We'll all make it. Patient is the game. Patience is the game. 100%. In fact, that was going to be one of my conclusions. So well said there from Only Crypto on that. Just make sure you got the good stuff and hold tight there. So that is the stock market stuff. Now we do have the Senate. So this is a view of the Senate room right now as we speak, live here on the Crypto Night show. And you can see the Democrats are playing games, and a few of the Republicans as well. There's 2 or 3 Republicans, trying to get certain things through. From the Democrats' view, they'll never vote on this, right? Because it's a victory for Trump, a huge victory. And of course, have tax outs. So there isn't really any cuts in Medicare, Medicaid. There's only just corruption. So they're looking, obviously, trying to get corruption out. So apart from that, they're just going to have get those rate cuts from 2017 extended, which have been super successful even under the Biden period, and also get no tax on tips, no tax on tips, what am I saying? No tax on tips. That's better. And no tax on what was the other thing? No tax on. I've just forgotten it right now. Just after I thought. Anyway, it will come back to me. So yeah, that is going to be pretty popular moving forward, I think. Let me know in the chat if you remember. I just lost what the other one is. No tax on tips and no tax on something else. So you let me know in the chat there. Just got a brain freeze there. But you can see at the moment they've got a vote-a-rama on at the moment. So they had a big reading, right? Chuck Schumer forced them to read. And call the poor staff there that read out and they lost their voices and all sorts of stuff. This is how horrible the Democrats are, right? All those people losing their voices trying to read. They're just clerks doing their job. And this is the nastiness of the Chuck Schumer getting them to read the whole bill. And it's the longest one ever, right? It was the longest one. It was so long. And just went for hours after hours after hours. But, that's what they don't care about the people. Anyway, so they just wanted to slow down the process, right? Trump wants this done by the 4th of July, right? That's kind of his target. Now, obviously, it can pass that, and as long as it gets done. But if it doesn't, it gets pushed out. They might have to split up the bill and push it to September or October or something. So really getting it done now is pretty important. And it's not only important for that, but important for America. Now, we know that Elon Musk is a little upset around, the battery parts in it and the solar power wind. But of course, I have a different opinion on the solar power and wind. I probably may agree with them on the batteries, but on the solar power wind, they're typically way more expensive than thermal. And you hear a lot of nonsense about stuff. Even AIs are all got fed nonsense about the economics of wind and solar because it's all ideological driven, right? And so yeah, they're typically way more expensive, and of course, have a lot of environmental issues themselves with wind as well, particularly offshore wind. So. That is where we're at the moment. So we got this back and forth. So they have little amendments and motions, and then they have a vote. They go vote. They have to go through all the 100 people pretty much, or 99 people. 100 people, I think, isn't it? And then, of course, the vice president can be the one that separates. If it gets to like 50-50, the vice president is the difference, right? So that is the play at the moment. And we've obviously got people putting up different amendments and then have to go vote around it again and again and again. So it's all trying to push it. This is at the Senate, and then once it gets approved here, they finally get that vote, confirmation. Then it goes back to the House, and they'll have the differences and the changes from the first House version through to the Senate, and then they have to vote through. And that may or may not be, difficult. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Republicans have got a chance for big victories there. Obviously controlling all 3 parts of the House, but just a couple of Republicans. Are they really going to hand over victory to the Democrats? Because that's all they'd be doing, right, if they vote this bill down. So we shall see. They've got a bit of pressure to get it under any amendments. So we'll see how that all plays out. All right, there's one of the worst of them there, Bernie Sanders. He's absolutely walking contradiction, right? Super rich, got what, couple $100 million now, and he's walking around talking about socialism, Marxism as being the solution of the world. Yet every single society with that, every side of society with that, without oil, right, is being doomed. Even the ones with oil doom themselves eventually through social policies. But that is kind of the play there. We shall see where it all lands. All right, let's jump into crypto. We're going to check that out. Shall we go full screen? Let's go full screen on this one. And here we are with the markets. Here we got 3.43 trillion on crypto, down 2.8%. Now we got Brent Hudswell in the house. Hey, good to see you. Hey guys, good to see you, Brendan. And what else? We got crypto 3.43 trillion, down 2.8%. That's based on 17,543 coins that are listed on CoinGecko. What else we got there? We got Bitcoin at the moment at $107,143, down 1%. So OPS came down a little bit from yesterday, but we're still holding very strong over 100K. And we really didn't see the move that we saw in stock market. We haven't seen it in crypto, so probably maybe we'll get it in the next day. That's kind of where we are at the moment on crypto at the moment. Ethereum there is down 0.5% at 2,489. We XRP number 4 up 2% at $2.24. BNB up 0.3% at $657, and Solana up 1.1% at 155. And we may get some big moves in the old Solana and XRP moving forward. What else? We've got Tron at 1.1% at 28 cents. Dogecoin there down 2.2% at 16.5 cents. And then number 10 is Lido sitting there as well, down 0.3%. Those are our top 10. Cardano, of course, being pushed to number 11. Not much change in the orders for the last week or something. But we're definitely starting to see a little bit of movements in Solana, BNB, XRP, that sort of thing. So keep a lookout for those. Big move. Was a big move. It's down now, but Hyperliquid, got to keep an eye out on that. It's been a very good performer. Probably expect to see some good things there. Bitcoin Cash also number 15 hasn't been too bad either, up 9% for the last week. So Bitcoin Cash making a bit of a move there. All right, so that is some of the top 15. Let's have a look at the best performer over the last week. Well, it is Solana up 7.4%, which is, we called that on the channel, and I think that's probably going to do extremely well this cycle, right? Extremely well. We got Harry in the house there. Yo, yo, yo. How you all been? I'm still around. PLS all the way, says Harry. Nice. Keep accumulating, Harry. Keep accumulating. Not financial advice. Don't do due diligence, all that good stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at the top 100 coins and see who's the best performer. Say again, taking the number one spot several days in a row now, up 19.7%, but down 5.3% today. We've seen some of the second layer protocols coming into play, right? The blockchains, Arbitrum up by 14% for the week, down 5% today, but still the second best performer this week. Jupiter in the top 100 up 13.6%. Is down 1.7% today, but number 3 for the week. Then we've got Aptos and Farcoin, and they're all both up over double digits. So we've got 5 coins up double digits over the last week in the top 100. Not bad at all. All right, let's go to the top 1,000 top gainers. We've got Hashflow today is up 83%. Startup is up 46.9%, and TNQ is up 32%. Let's look at Hashflow, and it's sitting at 553 on the place. And boy, that's just at a real rally there. Off the bottom, look at that. On the 28th, it was at 5.2 cents. It is now at 12.73. So really nice gain there. 84% in the last 24 hours. Up last week, 142%. So most of that in the last day. Hashflow is a multi-chain decentralized exchange that enables users to trade digital assets on lending blockchains, including Ethereum, Arbitrum, Avalanche, BNB, Optimism, Polygon, and Solana in a matter of seconds. So there we go. That is Hashflow, and it is on Ethereum. And so if we look at the web, it's got an app and a web, but let's have a look at the website. And that's Hashflow, the liquidity layer for DeFi. 25 billion volume, it says, 30 plus integrations, 500,000 in liquidity. Sorry, 500 million in liquidity. That is the old Hashflow. They've got the app as well. So click on the app quickly. Hope that doesn't cause me any troubles. There's the app. You can exchange, and you got a staking feature there as well. All right, so that is doing pretty good. Up 84%. Must have been some new news, no doubt, but that is up 84% there at the moment. All right, let's go back into the other ones that have top gainers in the top 1,000. Startup up 40.8%. This has not been around for very long. May the 15th, so only a few days. And it is rallied off the bottom there after originally getting sold off. It went down to just below half a penny, and it's now at 2.5 cents. So that's been some really nice gains in the last, how long is that? Only the last few days. 23rd, 23rd. So in the last week, that's been like a 5x gain, 6x gain even. So not bad there. Startup tokens. Let's have a look at the websites on Solana. Don't seem to have a website, but that is in play there, doesn't it? Yeah, startup their price. Let's go to Twitter, see what that's. Let me see if it's got any explanation there. That startup there, the product is the market cap. So that's been up today, Series B. So yeah, you can check that out. But that's a little brief look there at startup. Not financial advice, of course. We're just previewing it. That was at number 990, so it's just got into the top 1,000. It's 990 with almost a 2x, a 5x in the last couple of days. So just take note. Be wary. Be wary. Don't buy the top. All that sort of stuff. All right. So let's have a look at the other coin. We've got TNQ, which is up 32%. It is ranked at number 311. Hasn't been around too long either. September last year. And so really just bounced off the bottom here. Was $1.17, now $1.74. Been around for over a year. And launched 17th of January 2024. Developed by a Malaysian team. Digital private fund company specializing in fund tokenization. Interesting. It's on Ethereum as well. So we've got 2 Ethereum, 1 Solana today in the top gainers. Pioneering DeFi and CeFi and bot ecosystem, leading the future of automated trading with cutting edge bots. So that's kind of interesting. Let's have a look. Trade smarter with bots, fully decentralized, fully transparent, and it's got quite a few details there. So that's the trading bot. And that is ranked, what do we say? Ranked 311 TNQ. Let us know in the chat there if anyone's playing around with that. But that is on Ethereum there. Not bad. All right, so those are our top trending ones. Top gainers trending. We've got Hashflow, Arbitrum, and Solana. So we've got blockchains trending there at the moment, and Hashflow trending and is up 84%. Of course, we looked at that one. All right, so that leaves us with 3.43 trillion market cap, down 2.7% today. Bitcoin down 1% at 107,387, but Bitcoin is still holding. So let's zoom in on Bitcoin as we go. Because it's fun. Crypto's fun. So let's have a look at our chart. So we've been tracking this, right? And what we got there? The big tax bill. We saw that on the screen. They're currently going through the vote-orama, as they call it, and looking through amendments and then voting on all amendments. 50 votes, 100 votes, whatever it is. So yeah, that is crazy. And so yeah, is Trump going to get it by the 4th of July? He wants on his desk. Got to go back to the House still by the end of the week, right? So fingers crossed, going to be pretty tight on there. And of course, the Democrats won't make it easy. And we've got a few Republicans that are pressuring for certain things. So will they get some capitulation there and get everybody to vote and say okay? And let's go back to the House. And then the House, all the people in the House has to vote for that as well. So yeah, fingers crossed. Big tax bill there. And yeah, but it's going to be exciting. We definitely want to get that through. It's going to be bullish for the US growth. The key thing is getting US growth to 3% or 4%, and that will help take care of all the deficits and things like that. You can start paying things back and all sorts of good stuff there. And then Doge cuts, of course, cutting out wasted federal spending and so forth, right? And then so remember the federal deficit's about $2 trillion a year, and half of that is in interest rate costs. That's why we want the interest rates down from Jerome Powell. And then the US debt is sitting around 37 trillion. And of course, all things equal, this bill would increase that debt. But if we get economic growth up to 3% plus, then you're looking at trillions of more new dollars coming in from higher revenues. And therefore, you're going to be, able to pay, close down that federal deficit towards maybe 3% of GDP and start paying down that potentially that federal debt, right, the 37, and pull that back from the abyss, as they say. So that's kind of the play there. All right, that is kind of cool stuff there. So big tax bill coming up, only days away by the end of the week. Fingers crossed, guys. And bullish news there. The markets will like it. People will have more money in their pockets, so that would be bullish for people. Very exciting there. And then we got trade deals. The extension on the 9th. And it looks like they were initially saying they may extend that, but it looks like they may not extend it now. Recently coming out of the White House in the last 24 hours, that they will probably, if you don't do a deal in good faith, if you're not trading in good faith, then president might just send you a letter saying this is the tariff, this is the charge to access the US markets as a premium privilege. And of course, remember the US is the consumer of the world. And so, yeah, something like 20-25% of the world's economy and the big consumer, right? As opposed to China, which has obviously got a very big economy. But the US is basically about 5 or 6 times more productive than the Chinese economy because it has way less people, right? And The other thing is that the US is a consumer economy, and the China economy is a manufacturing economy. And of course, the government, to some extent, over there has made that to be the case, right? So that gives them more control as opposed to if it was a consumer economy. So that's kind of some of the background themes. But we have had some news overnight that a deal with India is pretty much close to done. So that's very bullish news. We'll probably hear news about that formalized. Whereas Japan is still holding up because of around rice and car exports and sales. So very difficult to sell cars into Japan. Obviously, Japan's a big car maker. Japan doesn't have a lot of resources, so they rely on these heavy industries. That's why they're protected a lot. And so that's Trump's trying to break that down a little bit. Trump's also trying to get them to buy rice, even though Japan needs rice. For some reason they're being a bit hesitant around buying rice from the US. So that's another area that's holding up Japan. So those are the two big deals out of the top 8-10, and we're also waiting for South Korea and deals like that. So it's a pretty big deal coming up there, 8th and 9th of July. So we'll see how that all goes, and we should get a good news flow of some deals being done, and hopefully some signaturing events and all the hoo-ha there. Following, hopefully, the big tax bill goes through, or the beautiful big bill, as they say. So that's coming up there, all in the week or two ahead of us. So very, very bullish for Trump's strategy. This is pretty much it. Remember that big tax bill's got a lot of Trump's promises in it from the campaign. So really, fingers crossed it gets through from there. No one wants to get two bills or more bills because it's just you're fighting for every single inch of it. You just get it all done in one big bill, beautiful bill, as Trump would say. That's kind of the play there. And of course, interest rate cuts, we probably won't see that now. This interest rate cut all the way to the 17th. So that would be all the way out here now. So that is the play for the tax, for the rate cuts. And so, yeah, we'll see how that goes at the moment. Currently, we're expecting the majority expecting that at the moment. So that is kind of the play on interest rates, and of course the China deal is pretty much done. I think they've tit for tat. They'll probably have a few more things, typical China play, but this mid August that should all be done and dusted. Deregulation leverage, we're seeing a lot of progress on that. In fact, we'll probably try and bring up quite a few of the regulations, but they've been doing a lot of stuff. This is going to be incremental, regulations as they go forward, but that's continuing, ongoing. That's why I got up 2 arrows there. So that is ticking away there. Now, in terms of crypto, we've had this golden cross continue on, and here we are with the 200-day moving average at 94,726 and the 50-day at 104,264. We're well above it at the moment, just getting ready really for the move higher. Will the big tax bill, if it gets passed, be the catalyst? Probably very likely, and we could possibly get a bit of a move there, particularly with the trade deal. So this is our bullish environment. Very, very exciting. All right, so that leads us into Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum's about to get a golden cross. So it's just holding off at the moment. But let's have a look at the Ethereum, and you can see us at the moment. Look at that, getting closer. We're getting closer on the golden cross. 200-day EMA, $2,469, and the 50-day, $2,432. So we're only about $27, $28 difference now with this golden cross getting so close. Fingers crossed, and that by itself is a catalyst. We are seeing, corporates and enter into Ethereum, buying Ethereum positions, and of course, including, Liberty Finance, the Trump, group, as well as we know lots of money is going to be flowing into this. ETFs, of course, as well, and that's the other one. Solana's getting excited because they're getting ETF for that potentially as well. So we'll probably get all the top 10 cryptos will have their own ETFs and capital flowing into them. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Wookie says New Zealand is good spot at 10%. Yeah, they got in early on that one. That was Winston there. One good thing that he's done for our country. What else there? We got Crypto League in house there. Will PulseChain get you rich if you accumulate more than 200 million Pulse? Yes, that's a good mark. I think you answered your own question there, Crypto League. Big shout out. All right, so that is the play on Ethereum, and $2,482. We're above the 200-day and the 50-day. So fingers crossed that golden cross is just teasing us right now. Teasing, and we got the right news, right? We saw that on the Bitcoin chart. news ahead of us to start making that break to the upside, boy. And it could be glorious, right? Could be truly glorious. Now, as you guys know, we've got the Magic Carpet Ride price that is sitting at 3,775. That's up here. So we've got a bit of work to do to get back the money that was lost in the PulseChain Strategic Reserve, as we like to call it now. And that is a 52% gain in Ethereum. And of course, that can happen pretty quick in crypto. So it seems like a long way away at the moment. But of course, we were down here at $1,800, and look how quickly it made up that gap, right? So that went up 43% inside 3 days. So pretty much 3 days, 43%. So if you think it's a long way from here, 43% up from here, it gets us up to $3,584, and it did it in 3 days before. Did it in 3 days again, right? So don't fret too much about that. Game on, right? Game on. And we've got a golden cross just teasing us right now, and all the right bullish economic news. If it all gets done with the big beautiful bill, and then trade deals, man, oh man, we are looking good. And then interest rates in September, and of course, Powell will probably get rolled, and so forth. So there'll be a new guard in place. All right, so that is the play. That gets us into PulseChain. Let us know in the chat there if you guys got any comments. I've got getting stuck here on the old screens. Let us know in the chat there if you got any comments about any of this. If you're new to the channels, don't forget to smash the follow button on X and the subscribe button on YouTube. We're streaming to 4 channels at the moment, so definitely subscribe and follow on all of those. So big shout out to if you're on the Crypto Night Show on YouTube, the Superman Crypto on YouTube, PulseChain X on YouTube, and of course the Crypto Night Show on X. Give us a follow and subscribe and share the channel around. If you love daily content, we're the largest influencer doing daily content, and so the only one doing it really. We have got a few other influencers that are getting closer, doing every couple of days. So things are ramping up. A good sign when you got a lot of influencers out there doing daily shows, right? So very exciting. But at the moment, we're pretty much hitting that spot. And of course, they can hear all about crypto, stock market, PulseChain, economics, the strategy. It all gets told here on the show. And we try to do our best to be on the money and keep up to date with all the latest stuff there. Wookie says ETH Golden Cross is like watching a slow motion wreck. It is indeed. That reminds me is that I got to I was actually bringing something in here. So I was going to show something. I don't know how long is that. It might be a bit long, but we'll see. We might pull it in at the end of the show. So we're going to have a coverage around Bitcoin, but we're going to bring it in towards the end. So hold on to your hat for that. I think that's what we might do. That'd be like bonus material. It's like watching a slow motion train wreck. Train wreck? Come on, it's harsh. That's harsh. Come on, Wookie. All right, so let's get into PulseChain and stay tuned. Yeah, we're going to have that bonus stuff on the Bitcoin forecast. So you guys are going to really like the insights with that. So yeah, here we are, day 781 since PulseChain launched on the 13th of May, 2023. Unbelievable. And the price of Pulse at the moment is up 3.3% today, so at least it's a little bit green. We got the price there at quadruple 0244, and that's sitting at 24% of the mean sacrifice price. And remember the PulseChain because we're going to talk about that in a second. So remember that when we get up to the Pumpermentals. So we're going to talk about will PulseChain make you rich? We're going to talk about that. So remember the PulseChain there. It's only at 24% of the mean sacrifice price. Now PulseX at the moment, quadruple 019 is down 4.8% today. So a little bit strange, but down today. And obviously we've got the buy and burn at 7.29% of all PulseX is gone forever. That excludes the OA sacrifice wallets. We've got incentive token at the moment, $1.51, up 1.44%, and that's definitely been a better performer, hasn't it? So we looked at different time frames, incentive token being a better performer there. It's got very low inflation now because it's one of the pre-foundations that Richard set up for the bull market ahead, right, was lowering the inflation of INC and reduced it dramatically over 20x down to 2,600 ink per day. So it's a very low inflation rate on the yearly basis if you think about it. So, any third-party application, anything like that uses INC helps to make that more bullish, right? So, particularly when it's consuming, liquid INC. Hex at the moment, 5200th of a penny, 0.5%, and EHEX at 1600th of a penny, just down a little bit from yesterday. Combined price EHEX and PX is sitting at 6800th of a penny. Now, just a reminder that EHEX there, we've got BankX out there, and there's definitely been selling down, so they're getting lower and lower. But we've got FlexHex out there, FlexNet. FlexNet. FlexNet is out there. I think my name's better because I keep saying it naturally. Now, FlexNet is out there, and that's from Dipcatcher, and that is going through final audits, as I understand it, getting very close to launch. So we're looking forward to that. Anything that uses Hex is a good thing, right? Anything that's being built using Hex. I know some people were against it, like, why are you doing it? It's like, what are you guys talking about? It's like using Hex. So anything that uses Hex is good. Like anything that uses, uses PDI is good, right? We've got Betterbank coming and other protocols, maybe even Compound and stuff like that. Anything that uses any of these is good. I don't know why people fud their own bags, but I don't know. Maybe they just don't understand what they're talking about. I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, so that is kind of where we are. Hex at the moment, looking like a really good pickup. Along with any of these rich heart cores, to be honest. So not bad, not bad. Trev says buying more Hex tomorrow. I am a believer. Yeah, I think you're onto it, man. Hex is looking very tasty for large volume. Pick up large volume of it for cheapest chips, or pretty much that's how we say down under cheapest chips. All right, so that is where we are on the PulseChain. And remember the Pulse price. We're going to talk about that shortly coming out. Actually, remember PulseX at, I mean, quadruple 019. Actually, I'm using PulseX, actually. I just remember that. PulseX quadruple 019. Remember that. That's where we are. All right, so let's go to the gas prices. We're at 2.2 million beats at the moment, so about 2 cents for a PulseX swap, so about twice as expensive as yesterday, but still pretty damn cheap, right? Pretty cheap. Velas at the moment, 50,576. It's been creeping up a little bit every day the last couple of days. And then the bridge, of course, we've been looking at the bridge, right? The bridge, 82.3 million. So that is, I think, down from yesterday. I think we're at 83.6. So that's down about 250K from memory. But I've got more detail. Exclusive to the Kryptonite Show is our PulseChain flows bridge, right? So that is very important. And you can see here, I actually got the date there. It's actually 29th of June. But you can see that we've had a little bit increase. This is the last couple of hours before the live stream. We've actually started to pull back. So the green area is the hourly flow. So there's actually what's flowing in through the hour. You can see we actually had a pretty good hour only about 4 hours ago. We had 208,000 come in, which is really good because we'd been having quite a bit of money still bleeding out overnight. You can see the little red candles. We had 87. We had another 87. We had 114, and then we had all these other little candles all bleeding out money from the chain, right? But then we had a big amount come, 208, to help save the day. Yeah, and that's why this yellow area is the accumulated net. So whatever's the difference between these hourly, the green and the red, that adds on or subtracts or adds, right? And so we've been going, this yellow area is going negative, so we're losing money. And you got to see we got all the way back down about 3 days or 4 days ago, down to $3.8 million down. That's a little out. This is all timestamp values. Just remember that, not dynamic market prices. And so we got back up. We headed back to 2.7 million down, and we're still down a lot, right? 2.7, but we're heading back in the right direction. We came back down to about 3.4 million, and just in the last few hours today, we started creeping back up into the right direction. We're now down about $3.1 million. So we're heading in the right direction. Let's see whether the big beautiful bill this week. And of course the FOMO and stock market, and we're a little bit delayed, delayed reaction from stock market. That we can get a bit of a move on in the right direction and get that capital flowing back on the charts. Obviously, we've got stable coins on PulseChain and other stuff like that people can use to buy PulseChain stuff up there and push the price up. And then that would hopefully lead to even more capital coming onto the chain, and we get a proper capital reversal. And we flip this yellow area into maybe, I don't know what color, green maybe at the top there. I haven't decided what color it's going to be. But we flip the chart there and we get money coming on PulseChain, and that would be pretty exciting. So we're still not quite out of the woods yet, as you can see in the yellow. But we're kind of calming down a bit. Can we get that reversal and head that momentum up in the right way? All right, so that's kind of the play there. On that, let's jump over to PulseChain. We've got $20.9 million in volume in the last 24 hours. So we've got close to 400,000 transactions. The top mover at the moment is a new Beast token, Mr. Beast, who has launched that. That is 15 hours ago. It has had 322K volume over 31K liquidity. Has been pumped a massive 14,200%. We got Hex Lotto, which the first winner of Hex Lotto was $18,500. So it seems to be legit from what I can see. Obviously, do your own due diligence, financial advice, and all that stuff. I haven't really checked it, but I did check the winners, and the first one was 18. A couple other prizes there. 25% taxes, something like that to play. 40.7% up today. We've got 9mm, the second biggest DEX, is up 16.5%. So that's a big move on 9mm. Remember, that's the one that's been doing about $1 million in volume, maybe down to 800K volume, compared to 9, which has been doing about 120K in volume. So 9mm getting a little bit of re-rated. Let's have a quick look at that chart and see how that's going. Yeah, look at that. That's the hourly chart here. So it's been pumping for a little bit of time there. Particularly, I guess, really started racing away this morning and is up quite nicely. Oh, is that last night? Yeah, maybe it's last night, actually. Maybe it's yesterday, I don't know. 21 hours. Oh, sorry, not yesterday. It was in the morning, definitely in the morning, but it was a day and 4 hours ago. But it's been racing up 20%. So nice little repricing there for 9mm DEX there. Let's have a look at what else we got going here the last couple of days. Yeah, 3 days in a row. We've been rolling in the price here. So it's been going from pretty much just below, let's say 1 cent, now 1.2 cents. So still early days here on 9mm. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at some of these others. We've got Surf Token. Now, guys, Surf Token, huge team, a very professional team led by Nick Hellman and Amaru and others in the group there. And yeah, we've got Surf at the moment at 1.8 cents, up 15%. And they're doing great stuff. X Spaces, collaborations, airdrops, and giveaways. I mean, these guys are crushing it out there. A big team. They're doing great stuff. This is a good example of all the sort of type of teams we want to, be building out. Coming over from other chains over to PulseChain. So nice little move there off the bottom, it looks like 1.4 cents, and we're up at 1.8 cents now. So nice little gain there on the old Surf. Now, if you do have 200,000 Surf in the DAO, you do get benefits from I think, the trading bots and other things. So definitely well worth checking out there from Surf. What else? We got Missile from OG WebChef, 14% there. We got the Pump Tires Die, following on the back of the P-Die. That's up 13% today. Then we've got X Game making a move. Now we know X Game's coming up from Firewell. It's going to be massive. So yeah, 12.2% at the moment, looking very, very, very good. So look forward to that. That is X Game up 1.9%. How far will it get to? Let's have a look. This is from Firewell. It got way oversold. But that's markets for you, right? That's markets. And we'd obviously, everything got sold down on the old Iranian issue. Just a bridging risk off and all sorts of stuff. We're down 65% on it though, approximately, and we're coming off the bottom there. So we'd have pretty much bounced from around 1.4, 1400th of a penny. Obviously had this little dip down here to 1368, but is back up at almost 1.9. So it's on the back, it's on the move. Old X Game, because this thing's going to be huge, guys. Now this is the Pump Tires version. It's not the Solid X. Solid X is the one that's getting the buy and burn, but this is kind of the the name of the game. So and it's limited. So the Firewell owns. When he issued it, he owned about 82% of it. So you can do the math. There's not a lot available, X Game. It could be getting very close indeed. And you can check out the X on Twitter there. So keep a lookout for that. What else there? Monet Money. Number 8 is up 12%. X is up 8.6% for Investor from OG WebChef, up 8.5%, sitting at number 11. Remember from OG WebChef, up 8.3. Die Hard there, you earn P-Die. So that's up on the back of P-Die, no doubt, up 8%, sitting at 8.6 cents. BFF at number 14, up 7.8%. Pulse up 8.8%. Atropa from James Maria, which was dominating a couple of days back, is still up 6.7%. And interesting timing with P-Die moving too, right? So that is up as well. And of course, the pairings with P-Die, back with P-Die again. What else do we got? PMX 500 up 5.7%. Beast up 5.7%. Another OG WebChef there. BFF up 5.4% at number 20. Dominance as well. Another OG WebChef there, up 5.3%. Heart with Hog. So big special shout out to Hog. They're in the week, so big shout out to them. And we're expecting some pretty big things from Hog. I think with their big anime stories, they've done 10 chapters so far. They're going to do well over 100. They're going to be having lots of personalities from around the PulseChain, community members, influencers. They're going to have celebrities outside of PulseChain. They're going to be having so much good stuff there, and lots of cool things in the old PulseChain. It reminds me of a few ideas, actually, just as I'm thinking about that coming up. So we got Your Mum at the moment, up 5.2% as well, also on the move. In fact, it just flipped. It just flipped the old Hog and Dominance. Just jumped there another 2 spaces. We got Up X from good old Haunted. Have you guys seen Haunted around? I haven't seen him around too much, but it'd be pretty cool to see him around. Number 26 is Gophers. That's up 4.2%. And that was our worst performer yesterday, wasn't it? So that's back up. So there we go, $102, making a bit of rebound. What else there? UFO from PTC up 4%. Lady Gaga up 4% as well. We got Saw Sun Mini making a little bit of a move, 2.8%, 6.8 cents. Not, after they got the big rally, got the retrace. We're still waiting for a lot of things coming from Sun Mini Meal. So once we start seeing that, we should see it reflected in the price, right? So they had the new website updated and the new referral reward program, but I think there's more to come there from that. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Missile from OG WebChef up 2.7% as well. What else? Let's jump down. Love.io, number 36, is up 2.4%. Stake Deeth at number 39 is up 2% as well. 9-inch, so this is the third biggest DEX, right? Is up 2% today. So yeah, 9mm definitely getting a bigger push, but a little bit of a move here on 9-inch. We shall see this. Remember 9-inch had a big sacrifice of something like $16 million. And of course, that could, will any of that money make it in? I don't know about that. I don't think they will, but you just never know. Good old Hexy bastard, wink, wink. But we'll see how that goes. Firewall up 1.8%. Another one of Firewall's tokens. Now, this one here, he only had 55% of ownership of Firewall compared to the other one. So Solid X pump tires and X-Game pump tires, he had 82%, but he only had 55% of Firewall. So this is the one that the most of the retail can own besides Solid X Original, the OG one, which is going to be burned up. The yellow one, I think it is. Yeah. What else there? We're heading into the top 50. So obviously we got a few pump tires here. We got Doubt Token. We got Most Wanted, both at 1.5%. And then we got PDC with one of the Pulse XP is up 4% there. What else we got there? So that's our. Where have I've slowed it all the way down? How did I float all the way down to 30? So yeah, ALGO at number 48, Incentive Token number 49.50, and then wrapping our top 50 is pretty much INC, so that's up 1.25% at the moment. So that's our top 50. We've got a couple of comments in the chat there, so we'll get to that. Who else is here? Yeah, I really like Trev's post here, buying more Hex tomorrow. I'm a believer. I like that. Crypto League in the house there, pump-mental effect on price, 25% burn of all fees reduction. With price pressure, no inflation, no dilution over time, Ethereum state copy bootstraps ecosystem instantly. Also, super low fees, high transaction velocity, pulse required for gas, constant transaction demand, pulse buy and burn, pressure plus deflation, staking removes supply, less sellable pulse, and market commute is there from Crypto League. Thanks for those updates. Jenna is in the house there. Hello. Always good to see Jenny in the house. And Wookie is as well. Is pretty excited about Jenny being there. So big shout out. Big shout out. All right, let's get in. That's our top 50. Let's scroll down here. We've got a few flippenings going on. This market is moving. This market's moving as we're speaking. But yeah, let's get into some of those. We've got BBC. So we talked about 9-inch being up here. Where's it? Number 38. It's up 2%. Well, it's the incentive token for 9-inch is the big bonus coin. And that is up 1.2%. So we've got a few little greenies going on there. PC the Greys in the mix here at number 55, 56. Gas station for OG WebChef there up almost 1%, 57 there. And then we've got quite a few others. Time Dividend, which is also in the monster thread this week. So big shout out to KG there, up percent at number 63. Gas Money is there. We've got Gas Station and Gas Money. Go forth. Another OG WebChef there. And that gets us to number 64. And then, so we got basically 65 that are green. And it's funny enough, it ends with the hex pair there. So we've got 65 out of 100 here green on this. The deck screen is trending view for 24 hours. And that's the mark. Everything else is pretty much slightly underwater, only very slightly below zero. And you got Sparta, Trump Token, Liquid Loans, Solid X. This is the one that you want to get if you want to get part of the buy and burn when X game goes live. It's going to have staking. It's going to have buy and burn. It's going to have network effect from a big network effect. So I won't talk too much about that, but it's going to have the marketing budget and everything else. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. 4 products expected to come from Solid X, from Firewall, one of our 2 big public whales on PulseChain. So pretty cool there. They're sitting in the top 80. And then we've got Teddy Bear there as well from James Maria. We've got Teddy Take over there from Moon King and Ian Heinisch back this one. We've got GoPulse sitting at 11.5 cents at the moment, down 2.6%, but not too bad. Holding up pretty well on the price there. And then, of course, we've got PulseX in the mix there, followed by Reserve Tay and Jupiter at number 100, down 73% on poor old Jupiter. Been smashed today on this pair. what's going on there. So that is our market update today for PulseChain. But let's jump over to not PulseX at the moment, but let's jump over to Pulse Coin List, and we're going to have a few looks at some of the ones that have been moving with these PulseChain forks, and that in particular is PDI. So PDI continuing its rally. And we're hopefully going to have an interview with Better Bank, Nikki coming up soon. That's going to be using PDI. But that is continued its rally. It's at what do we say, 4/10 of a penny? Was it 39 now? Slightly lower. This is the 15-minute chart, so let me just chill off there. It looks like it is selling off a little bit after that big rally, but let's go to the 4-hourly chart, shall we? So that is the 4-hourly chart there. This is the trader's view, right, on the old PDI, and it's got high lows in it, and it's coming back down. We're already hitting this 4400th of a penny, coming back down here to test this area around 4/10 of a penny at the moment. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. Let's go through to let's make that a bigger screen on the old PDI, and let's add in an RSI on this. And of course, there's been big talk about using CDI, compound die from Compound, and potentially doing a big mint re-rate of trillions of potential PDI coins, and then collateralizing them all so they'd never hit the market, and getting the whole circular leverage back into the whole system. So the market's been getting excited about that. And of course, there's other applications like Better Bank coming that will potentially use PDI as well. The more use cases that come into PDI, the more valuable it becomes, arguably, right? So this is the play. So we'll see how all those theories play out and all those products play out. But that is kind of where we're at the moment. So it's been back on the move. RSI chilled off a little bit there on the 4-hourly at 62. Let's see what the daily looks like. Has been a bit hot, right? Has been a bit hot here. So maybe it's going to chill out just a little bit around the zone, 4/10 of a penny before it tries to make another move with the RSI. So just keep a lookout for that and any fundamental news that may shift it as well. But yeah, that are we going to get another one of this? Eventually, we're going to slowly creep up. We're creeping up to like this, and then we're going to get another big move, or we need quite a bit of news for that. But that would take it back up to like 3 cents or so. Let's see how it goes. And of course, if you're out there, PDI to $1. That's the chant, right? That's the chant there. All right, so that is the play on PDI. So it's been on a move. This is on Pulse Coin List, if you're wondering what site we're on. And what else we had that's been moving as well is wrapped Bitcoin, right? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's been up as well, 68% for this week, $624 now. And ching ching. So that's going up very nicely in the old wrapped Bitcoin. If you haven't guys joined Strategy Club, join up today. The link's in the description. Only $35 a month. Well worth joining up. And join our community as well. Only $12.50 to be a member of Discord and join up and get access to a lot of this sort of stuff. What else we got going? In fact, I've got the monthly report coming out for Strategy Club, hopefully today, tomorrow. So look forward to that. It's going to be on all crypto wide. A lot more detail there. All right, so what else we got going here? Let's jump down to some more PDI forks that are pretty interesting. Treasury bills been up 48% this week. So we're looking at the other stablecoin, not just PDI, but Tether. So Tether USD is up 74% this week at 22 hundredth of a penny. And I think we might have USDC version, right? USDC, was it further down? Maybe it's further down here. So USDC is there, sorry. I was looking at it already. So USD Tether is what I was looking for, sorry. So here's CDI, right? So CDI is down 90%. So apparently this is not the beginning of the one. CDI gets resurrected, but this one's not going to be the one that's get dumped on or get as much value as PDI. So that's why it's probably down 18%. What else we got going here? Let's jump through some of these. I was looking for some of these other forks. Let's have a look. Keep going. What else? Just looking further down. You got CUSDC, so Compound USDC, up 24.4% for the week, but down 23% today. Pretty volatile stuff, right? We've got Rocket Pool, RETH, right? So that is up 71% for the week, 29% today. So there's some real gems out there in some of these forks. You got to just pick the right ones that are kind of got associated narrative. Let's see what else we got there. Matrix Die is up quite a bit, 90% for the week. Woo-hoo-hoo. What else is looking pretty interesting? We're going through the top 100 here on Pulse Coin Lists. It's got a different setup, of course. Pcoin. Now we've got Pcoin is in the monster thread today. It's up 86% for the week, 38% today, and that is Pcoin in the monster thread. So Pcoin, a big shout out there. They're doing pretty well. Brendan says PDI to $1. To $1. PDI to $1. That's it. That's how you say it. All right. So that is it. All right. Jokes aside, let's get into the pumponomics. Will PulseChain make you rich? Well, at the moment, it's not making you rich unless you're in the right coins. We saw quite a few coins in there up 2x today. So if you're in some of these P forks, yeah, you're getting a lot richer. So that's definitely happening. But overall, the rich art core coins not really pumping yet, which is a good time to accumulate. It's been a very long time. Obviously, the SEC since the 31st of July 2023. It had a lot of it put a lot of clouds over the PulseChain. Now that we saw big capital flight happen that day, and it was tens of millions of dollars, wasn't it? So yeah, but we're to the point where exhaustion is probably getting in play, capitulation events, and maybe it's time to really start rising here. Wookie says, "Why stop there? Why stop there? Why stop at $1? Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, it's true." Well, they reckon there's going to be a selling right of the compound beginning, so that's probably the logic there. All right, so Pumponomics, that is, we got PulseX. So I'll put the PulseX token in here, and we're going to play around with some of these tokenomics just to see an idea. Now, PulseX is down today, of course, but generally speaking, it will be a leverage play on Pulse. And remember that Pulse, while it's got low inflation because it's inflating with blocks, like it gets block reward, it does burn some of that through EIP 1559, right? But it is essentially quite low inflation for PulseChain. Obviously, there are big holders, and so when you see any dump downs, can be a validator holder. If they're got 1,000 validators, they can certainly sell that in the chart. They would like to exit and things like that. So there is all that in play. But inflation itself is actually quite low when you take net inflation from PulseChain. But PulseX, however, is just completely deflationary, right? So there's no new PulseX, assuming the OA sacrifice wallets don't move anything. We don't expect it to. Apart from maybe a collateralization move as a potentiality, but actually, we would actually see PulseX just deflating constantly with the buy and burn, right? So this is kind of, we're just going to play around with some math. So at the moment, we got nothing. We do no injection. Just $10,000 would increase the price of PulseX. So let's have a look at some of the basic numbers. So I got a PulseX contract in here, right? It's got the market cap at 2.72 billion at the moment. Current price is, it's got at 0.05 cents. Liquidity at 11.7. I'm not sure what pool that's pulling actually. But we got the liquidity sources in here. The main pool, of course, is PulseX Pulse at 6.6 million. So we're going to play around a little bit with this. I'm not sure why it's got the Pulse price at that level though. Anyway, probably should have checked that. But here we are. Let's have a quick look, check at some of the pump-mentals. I wonder got the new price there. I'm just going to double check that. So let me just check that. I'm going to have to get off screen just to do a check there, just to make sure we're talking about accurate stuff. Brennan says X plus Y times K equals 1 and equals dollar. He says dollar. Your AMM math is that's really cool. All right, so let me just pull up this chart here. Got to see what's going on. See what's going on here. Never got a chance to check this because I just did it before the live stream, so that's just the way it goes. What do we got there? Yeah. Let's go back here, and ladies and gentlemen, always good. All right. What is that showing that for? Why is it showing that? That is not working. I don't know why it's showing that. That makes no sense. Let's see here. Let me put this on instead. See if that works out better. We're going to come back. Might have to use a different pair, right? It's coming up with, oh, now it's not even working. Oh, that's great. That's great. Let's see how it goes. It didn't like that either. All right, so it doesn't like that. So we're going to have to use something else because it's not liking that at all. So let's use... Oh. What do we do there? Not that one. We was on PulseCoin list. Let's go back to there. A few little changes around here every so often. It makes for just what it is. Let's see. I can't even get the contract from that. Let me go back here. All right, let's scroll back up here. Let's see if that works. I've completely lost it altogether now. How about that? All right, let's try this one more time. No, it doesn't like that either. What is that doing today? Crazy, as we say. This is supposed to be really simple, and it's turned out to be ridiculously stupid. So let me just try this one more time. Let me try this one more time. What the? That is not correct. There's not only is it not correct, but one of the sites has got wrong data on it. It's got wrong data as well. I don't know. We're just going from claiming. All right, we're going to have to use. Let's try INC. See what INC gives us the right outcomes. Let's see. We're going to have to use INC. That is peculiar for sure. All right, so okay, let me just double check the pair makes sense. Right, I think we're good. We're going to go with INC though, because at least it's accurate. So there we go. Probably view in house there. Nice. Good to see probably view. And we also got Wookie in the house there. So if one die is $1 and Wookie has 5 die, then it must be $5. Quick math, Wookie. Yeah. He's a math genius here. All right, so let's jump away to that. We're going to we're up to an hour and 5 minutes on the hour. But here is we got Ink token at $1.51. So this one actually computed properly. I think it was having trouble with the number of decimal places. We got the market cap at 84 million, so that is correct. And liquidity there 8.37 million. So let's jump away here. So if we got just a $10,000 buy at the moment, this is with the formula A X times Y equals K. not this formula. Not this one. And who is that guy, Brennan? He's a TA guru, man, putting in bad math in the chat. All right, we got so let's say we got the magic outride. Should we do that? I've lost all my sites, man. This is terrible. I've been sabotaged. All right, here it is. Here we got it. Let's get rid of a lot of stuff. So, bam. And let's get rid of that too. And we're just going to do incentive token because of PulseX wasn't working. So yeah, we got the magic outright at the moment. So this is just a little play on this. We're currently 34% out of the money on magic outright. It was worth 645 million. It is now worth 426 million. So we're out of the money by 220 million. But as we said, within 3 days we could move 43% like last time, and that would get us pretty close back to break even. So that's kind of where we are. Brendan says, how much is that in New Zealand dollar? 61 cents at the moment, which New Zealand dollars have been appreciating for no good reason. Probably because we had a little bit of GDP stuff and a little bit of confidence, but really our economy is going into the deep dive. I don't think the government quite realizes it yet. And bad math, come on, man, says Brendan. It's bullish math. It's one P die to $1. This bullish math. All right, so we're sitting there, 171,000 ETH. So yeah, that is the play. And we've got at the moment we've got $426 million. Let's put it that way. And the PulseChain sacrifice or PulseChain strategic reserve, because it's now listed on strategic reserve, which Richard got basically listed, didn't he? All right, so let's jump into there. So yeah, if we get just out, so we've got 425 mil. Let's just play a little game here and pretend that we can spend up to 100 million of that on INC. Now, it can buy Pulse, it can buy PulseX, all sorts of things that collateralize stuff, or it can do lots of different things with that money. But let's pretend that it can do. So you get in now, right? You get into PulseChain. It's pretty much not the bottom, but not too far away from the bottom. And you start getting yourself position. Will PulseChain make you rich? Well, if you bought INC, we've seen INC has been very bullish relative to Richard Hart core coins like PulseX, Hex, even as the best performer over a period of time, right? Then you buy a bit of Hex, and maybe there's a net buying. So this is net buying, right? So it's sellers and it's buyers less sellers, and it's the net amount, right? The net difference. So we got $10 million of buying and $9 million of selling. That would be $1 million difference, right? So that would push us up 27.7%. So let's say we had some guy come into $10 million with the magic outride. And then some girl came and sold $9 million worth, right? We'd be up $1 million, and so the price would still be up at the end of the day by 27%. That's kind of the idea, right? So we'd go from $1.50 to $1.93. So that's where we're at. So we're $1.50 now, ink token would be worth $1.93. We've seen that happen quite quickly, right? We've seen go from $1.14 all the way up to like $1.90. So we have seen that happen very, very quickly on the old chart, right, for Signum token. So that is quite doable. I think people don't have too much surprises with that. Now, obviously, there's multiple potential net buying drivers. It could be a whale, could be the magic carp ride, it could be retail that gets on a big FOMO. But that's 1 million. Now, let's go. Let's say we did 5 million. Let's go to 5 million. So $5 million, that would push us up 155%. And of course, we saw PDI go up 2x this week, right? So that wasn't even that. So if we did just do what PDI did, which is a 2x pretty much, that would put us up at $3.10, right? $1.50 to $3.10. So already you double your money, right? You might be earning, I don't know, 5%, 5% nominal interest rate on the bank. It's going to take you all year to earn that, right? You learn that pretty quickly in a couple of days. All right, so $3.6 million net buying, then you get to $2. So you get the $3.10 from $1.50. Now let's say we get to $5 million. So we go $5 million on here, and of course you can play around with this as much as you like. But $5 million, let's see if we can do that. So that's going to be about 2.6x response. So we're going to go from $1.50 to $3.90. Let's go to 10 mil. Let's go to 10 mil, and remember we got 400. And let's go back to the other chart, but we got a $10 million buy. That would get us a 4.8x on the Signum token, and that would get us to $7.33. Now, this assumes that PulseChain is the same price, right? PulseChain is the medium of exchange. This assumes it's the same price. If PulseChain went up by, so if Signum token went up by 5x, that's awesome. If PulseChain goes up in US dollars up 5x, then you now got 5 times 5, 25x, right? So it's massive from that point of view. That's the multiplier, right? So that's kind of cool. Now, remember, we've still got 426 million here. So far, we've only spent 10 mil, and we're up 5x. So let's go more FOMO. Let's go up to 20 million. And let's say there's 20 million net buying, remember? So this means we're, we got more buyers. And so we had 30 millions of buy, and then we had 10 million of selling. We'd be up $20 million net buying. That would push us up 11.6x. That would get us to $17.65. Right, so that's the kind of idea there. Now, as we move forward, of course, we go further and further and further ahead. So let's go up to 25 million, let's say, and that would push us up 16x. We'd go from $1.50 to $24.27, and that would be the price, right? So maybe we had $35 million buying, we had 10 million selling, and we're now at 25 net. That would get us 1,500% gain, 16x multiplier. We'd now be $24.27 for ink token there. And so this is just from the buying demand. Obviously, if we have anything that's sinking INC, could even help even more, etc., right? So big deal there. And of course, how much is in the LP pool, right, in a particular time, right? So total liquidity now is 8.37 million. Now at current time. So obviously that plays a big deal too. Liquidity size of liquidity pool that you're pushing up. But at the moment, this is what it's the effect that's happening. Obviously, if you had thinner liquidity pools, then you could go up even faster, right? So there's that as well, right? So there's got a few things to take into consideration. All right, let's go up to 50 mil. Let's just go all the way up to 50 mil and say that we had 50 mil. So let's say we had, I don't know, maybe actually 70 million in buying. We had 20 million sell. We're down 50 mil. Or we didn't have any selling, and we just had 50 million buying, and the market just went, well, I'll just let it pump. So we're up 48, 49x now, and we're up to $74, right? We've gone from $150 to $74. Everyone is dancing on the streets. They're all happy. PulseChain's the best thing since sliced bread, and everyone's pretty rich, right? Everyone's pretty rich because now one ink is now worth $74, and they could buy a cup of coffee for a couple of weeks. So very exciting there. All right, so that's kind of the play on that. It's 50 million, but let's go crazy. Let's go FOMO mode, because remember, Magic Carp Ride's got it's got a lot of money in there. 426 million. This doesn't include whales, institutions, retail. Now institutions, we don't really have a lot of that. We've probably got a few little sneaky ones in there, but really we don't have any really major institutional sector. We may get that through Sun Minimal, right? Through investments via Sun Minimal. That's probably the main one that I can see right now, and possibly potentially through Rack and Rochelle. Those kind of seem like the most logical places. We could most likely see there's probably 1-2 other minor ways we may see that happen as well. RG3s, through the old Hex fund there, the old Hex fund. I'm not sure how that's been tracking, but through that possibly as well. There's always a potential that through those links there as well, through to NASDAQ or something. We'll see how that all plays out. But that's kind of where we are at the moment, 426 million. And so far we've spent 50 mil on INC and we're up 48x. But let's go to 75 mil. Why not? Because we can. It's just a bit of a fun time. And let's go to 75 mil. So we're at 75. And we're now up almost 10,000%. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We're up 100x, guys. 75 million net buying. And the price of INC has gone from $1.50 to $150. And everyone is dancing in what place? Some beach in Madagascar or something. I don't know. You guys decide. But we're up $150, and everyone is very happy indeed. $75 in net buying. All right, so that is kind of cool. But wait, there's more because we've still got 426 million. We've got a lot more that we can spend. So let's go up to the max of what the calculator will allow, and we'll go all the way up to $100 million of net buying. And we're up from $1.50 to $254 now on the old calculator. All things equal, right? All taking into account the amount of liquidity we're starting with, etc. That's very important, right? That base liquidity, because remember the formula, depending on where most of the funds are in, but if it's in V2, then it's X times Y equals K, and we go up faster as a square, right? But we also go down faster than a square. But at the moment, of course, the liquidity's not too bad, and 10 token inflation's been dropped right off. So yeah, that is where we are at $254 with $100 million buy. So that's 100 million. That takes off, 426 million. Now, what happens if we get back to 3,773 ETH, price, which is the average DCA price for this fund, and we get back to 645 million? What's 100 million amongst friends, right? What's 100 million amongst friends? We've still got 545 million. But what happens if we get in the FOMO of the cycle, right? We get 2x, 3x on this, and we start going to $10,000 Ethereum. Then suddenly we're worth way more, right? Our ETH is worth way more. And we get up to, if we double the price, we get up to 1.3 million. And if we triple there, we're basically up at $2 billion, right? $2 billion. And therefore 100 million out of $2 billion is not too bad, right? That's 5%. So yeah, woohoo, bring it on there, 5% just to pump INC, 16,644%. Now assuming, obviously got sellers, they're there, but we're going to have a lot more buyers, retail, all sorts of stuff. Depends on how mature the PulseChain market is. But just from that point of view, that's 5% just to pump the bags. Now, how will that all play out? We don't know. Will the money be used also for collateralization? How's it all going to play out? At the moment, it's sitting at number 3, right, on the strategic reserve, right? I think I've still got that website up and loaded. Strategic reserve. Yeah, let's go there. So at the moment, that PulseChain sacrifice is sitting here. It's got the wrong number on here, 166,000. But we're sitting here at number 3 behind SharpLink, which is just a new company that's entered the space, right? So we've got new capital coming in from SharpLink. Their business might be going down, but their crypto is going to go up, right? So they're already up 7% in the last 30 days from the looks of it. They're sitting at number 2, 188,000. We're sitting at 171, and we've got the Ethereum Foundation at 252 at the moment. So it's the top one, followed by Coinbase at number 4 and Golem Foundation number 5. Gnosis down. Number 6, US government. There's all the ETH that they took off people, right? Part of the so-called altcoin portfolio that they've got. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. And we've got DAO as well. So followed and behind that, then Ethereum name service of all people there as well. So that is kind of the play there, and that is some of the pump metrics. So even if you don't get 167, X, you listed 10x would be pretty handsome for a lot of people. People will be pretty happy with 10x. It depends on how much money you're putting in, but 10x there would be pretty tidy. And you put in $10,000, that's $100,000 US. In New Zealand that would be probably 170,000. So even a 10x can make you pretty rich, can you? Now, if you obviously wanting to hit this magical $1 million mark, then you're going to need a bit better than that, right? So, and so on. So, 50x, etc. It starts putting you in the money, right? When it starts getting 50x. So, yeah. Let's see who else there. We got Tintop and House there. What's up, Tin Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. Hope you're doing well there. What else there? We got Brennan says, "What's 100 million between friends?" Asked Jeff Bezos. Yeah, well, I've got a picture of them on the thumbnail, haven't I? With all the celebrities and Bezos spending 50 million. He's just spent 50 million, 50 million on his wedding, didn't he? 50 million on his wedding, and 50 million on his wedding would be a $73 incentive token price, so 48x. If he spent 50 million rather on his wedding. I mean, he could still spend some money on his wedding. Let's not deny him, his happiness. But 50 million could have gone a long way to pumping an incentive token. Could have also, fed the poor and other things. But hey, look, it's that's money all goes around, right? They forget about that. So people go, "Oh, he spent 50 million, could have bought this," but the money does go back around to the society in some ways. Now I know it's not all directed into a nice little altruistic investment, but it does go to all the staff, the catering, and everything else. Money goes around. All right, so what else there? Wookie says, join the Strategy Club today. Absolutely, join up today. The link's in the video description if you love this. This was a lot of fun to go through. So yeah, you can get rich on PulseChain, but you will have to be patient. You will have to buy the right stuff. You have to buy, be patient. And yeah, we can definitely get rich on PulseChain, and that's what we're waiting for. This is just one of the Pumpermentals, by the way. If you haven't checked out my show on all the Pumpermentals coming, then there's a lot of good stuff, including what some of the whales are doing, Rack and Rochelle, Firewhale. We could have a viral game with X Game. We got a lot of developers doing cool stuff. We got a new update today, of course. Actually, I might as well go through that quickly since I'm already, how am I doing for time? And now in 20 minutes, I'm already past my maximum time period. But I did put out an update here. Oh, so that's the picture I pushed there, right? Bezos getting married. We've got lots of different, wealthy celebrities and stuff. Kim Kardashian is worth 1.7 billion, and Bill Gates there, 11.7 billion, I think it is. So yeah, lots of rich people on the list there. Now, Michael Saylor over 13 hours ago bought 5,000 Bitcoin. So money pumping in there, 531 million he bought worth of Bitcoin. Isn't that crazy? Imagine what that could have done to our incentive token. 50x there. So it could have been even better. That's 10 times, so almost 11 times what Bezos spent on his wedding there. So yeah, it could be pretty crazy. But I did have some good news coming from Tetra, and this is going to be pretty exciting, right? So let me go to the other screen actually, so you can see it there. That is exciting news. Tetra is close to launch. Yes. Now, Tetra is going to open up a whole ton of new DeFi possibilities on PulseChain. You're going to be able to interact with the blockchain contracts directly, and you don't have to be a software developer. Generally speaking, you have to a little bit of analysis, but you should be able to work out how to do things, set up limit orders, and all sorts of stuff. Lots of different possibilities, and this is going to unleash a whole ton of new things on PulseChain. We could see a lot of teams using this as well in their applications, doing more sophisticated stuff. I can think of Jacob from the BNB on-chain bet. PUSD ALGO using this, so there could be a potential coming up. And then what's the update? So he just came out yesterday. I put this straight away. So it was just late last night, and it says application skinning started on Friday last week. Once complete, we will launch. So very, very exciting. Now, application skinning is really just the UI UX sort of thing, just the way it looks. So this is very, very exciting. So basically, the engine is pretty much done. And this is going to be, they were going to do Web3, remember, if you recall, but they're now going to full decentralization. So in other words, you download it onto your computer and you can interact with the blockchain and contracts and things like that. And as I understand, they're going to be using what I call nodes. So if you use the Blender, they're using nodes. Now, there are different terminologies for that, but that's the one I use, where you can have nodes and connectors. So you can connect up different, functions, let's say, on a contract, and then hook them up and make them, if a price hits a certain thing, then buy, and set up limit orders, things like that. So that's kind of the idea. Now, Signum Oracle. Now, you guys know we've been waiting for this for some time. We've had Fetch Oracle out, but Signum Oracle is probably going to offer us a few more bells and whistles, as I understand it. And we're looking forward to that. So Signum will be released shortly after that. So originally it was going to be 2 days. What shortly after is, I don't know. I mean, it could be a few more days. So let's give a bit of grace for that. But certainly Tetra is coming. This is going to definitely open up a whole ton of new DeFi possibilities on PulseChain. I'm going to be, doing it myself. Probably do something online. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. So Signum will be released shortly after this, and that's from DevShoe, and that's hot off the press, and that was only out about 13 hours ago, so 13 and a half hours ago, something like that. But that is pretty exciting. So big news there coming there. And the Signum Oracle, That's what Jacob, as a preference, wants to use for PUSD ALGO, the first algorithmic decentralized stablecoin. And of course, that is still proceeding. Jacob gave a bit of an update in the chat Telegram yesterday on that. So I think that's his biggest project, his flagship project. He's got Mafia and On-Chain Bet out there. On-Chain Bet's going to be pretty sophisticated. It's going to be omni-chain. But I really feel like PUSD ALGO is where most of the muchos grandes, most of the glory will be lying. So we're looking forward to PUSD ALGO. So bring it on. That's all I can say as well. First decentralized, has he cracked it? Has he cracked the golden nut? Definitely worked on testnet. Is PUSD ALGO the ultimate algorithmic stablecoin? Terra Luna done right, as I always say. We shall see. Now, pretty awesome. Now, Cult DeFi does a lot of great coverage of PUSD ALGO. Obviously, I cover it as well. We're kind of the two principal people that cover PUSD ALGO because I really feel like, man, if you can get that, that's a killer app, right? That's a killer app. We've seen how good Liquidity Fork has been. People have been forking Liquidity all over the place. We've got 4 Liquidity Forks ourselves over here on PulseChain. Titan X has got one. And so, yeah, if PUSD ALGO can become the ultimate stablecoin, that could really, be popular. And let's see how that goes. It's going to offer a lot of yield opportunities as well. And it's going to include V3 DEX as well. So that might start giving a bit of run of money for some of these other DEXs out there. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. So stay tuned. The link, if you want to get a referral link in there, in the video description, you got one there too. 90% bonus on that one. And if you do over $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, which is about like $840, then you will get that second bonus, which is potentially between 1.01 and 2x. So you could get up to 2x. Now it's a random number, so I don't know what it will be. It's random, but you definitely get that 19% straight out of the gate. So links in the video description for PUSD ALGO. It is a sacrifice, what I call a contribution program. Now the difference is that something like 80% of the funds raised will be used in the protocol for setting up liquidity pools and the main technology, which is miner bots, right, which help keep the dollar pegged, right? So pretty awesome. Now there's a double peg because it's pegging the PUSD, and it's also potentially using a USDL, which is a liquidity fork dollar. So it's got that double aid to it. So pretty exciting where that's going to be going. So anyway, so that's opening up a whole new world of possibilities on PulseChain. Exciting. A whole nother area. Think of it, not a whole nother area on PulseChain. And it could be pretty huge, right? Pretty huge. All right, so that is the play. And pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, we got that giveaway from Radon and Hog, so definitely check that out. It's $100 in prizes up there for grabs for those that love chasing those prizes. Monster Thread is out, week number 8. Check that out. All the latest, hottest news. And MBS Johnson out there doing a great job. Did I say MBS Johnson? That's funny. The mods know what I'm talking about. We've got this share the show on X. So that's the way we go. And of course, the Monster Thread. I think I had that down here. Yeah, that is the Monster Thread. Share that around to all your friends. Perfect for onboarding. All the latest week news over the last week. You won't miss out a beat with that. All right, take care, everybody, and look forward to more from the Crypto Night Show. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. An hour and 30 minutes. Man, this is the longest show I've done in a little while. But man, we've covered so much good stuff, haven't we? The big tax bill coming up, the tariffs, maybe interest rate cuts in September, altcoin season game on, probably signed, sealed, and delivered, especially by September if it doesn't already start. We're very close to an ETH crossover, so it may start way earlier than that. And let's see. Big tax bill is pretty important though. So fingers crossed that they can get that over the line by the end of the week. That will set the foundation for everything that Trump's got from his economic policy. He's already raised over $15 trillion for investment, almost a record within a month or two. I'm sure that will hit the records. And it's golden age of America from July onwards. Lots of more big things coming in July as well from the Trump administration. It's just going to be epic, guys. This is going to be so good. And I think maybe we have passed most of the worst of it. There's always a black swan event or grey swan event out there. But I think we're going to get so many white golden swan events. It's going to be awesome. Did I just call it golden swan? I think we're going to do that from now on. We'll make the whole video called golden swan. That just makes a lot of sense. Hashtag copyright. We got has happiness should pump our coins. There's happiness. Yeah, that's true, Brennan. Take advantage of this prices. Load up on Pulse. That's a good advice then from Crypto League. Obviously, not from me, not financial advice or etc. Do your own due diligence. Do your own research. Hashtag HODL. All the good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I just can't stop talking, but we got to finish it, and I'll leave you out with some really bullish stuff on the way out because the banana part of the curve is coming. It is coming indeed. So make sure you got your bags packed. Get the good stuff. Have a diversification. And keep accumulating while you can at these prices, and do your due diligence. And we'll catch you on the next show, shall we? I think that's the way it goes. What's this one here? Is it going to play? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm on the wrong screen. I just realized.
Not a mystery.
saying,
it is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.